I have decided to live a boundless life. Over are the days of letting others own my time. I can no longer hold onto the scarcity and lack mentalities that once urged me to play it safe, to trade my time for money. And at this point, freedom is hardly a choice to make. There is no other option in my present reality but to be free, to be wild, to be untamed, to be guided by the unknown and dance with the flow of life instead of moving against it. The wisdom of nature, the wisdom of uncertainty, and the wisdom of my heart are all leading me to return to my liberated nature, to exist with no bounds, to be free and ever abundant. I am setting myself free, and I really hope you do too. Honestly, this video is for the creatives out there, the artists, the people on the spiritual path, and the people who just have never been able to fit into the rigid system sold to us by the society that we live in. I'm one of those people in every sense of every word: spiritual, creative, artist, trailblazer. And I've always been that way, yet there's been a certain program placed inside my mind from an early age that in order to survive in the world, I have to get a job under someone's employ, right? I have to work for a company. I have to sell my time for money, right? That's the exchange through which I get my needs met in this world. And I really bought that. I internalized it. It became like a subconscious program running at all times in my mind and my spirit. And as I had my spiritual awakening several years ago and got more into this journey of self-discovery and awareness, it began to kind of conflict with me a little, the whole idea of just having to work for somebody else in order to live. um, I started feeling extremely drained. Like, the more and more self-aware I became, the harder it was for me to work in a traditional job, like a traditional system. Like, I started working from an early age, just teen jobs and stuff like that, which was fine. But then at a certain point, a regular job that an average person could sustain left me feeling stripped the freak down, left me feeling out of sorts with myself, out of touch. Just working a 5 hour shift, a 4 hour shift, whether it was a labor job or if it was a very mentally intensive job, whatever it was, if I was giving a large amount of my energy to some company, institution or whatever, I just couldn't sustain it. So I would not keep a job that long. It would just be for a shorter period of time. And what I learned about myself was that I thrived in shorter term opportunities. So those opportunities that are like, here's this program, we're doing it for 4 weeks. Or here's this intensive that we're doing for 3 months, but it has great pay and afterwards it's over, right? Like, those things I thrived in, because it's like, okay, I've been authentically, organically led to this experience right here in this moment. And I'm going to give it my all for this short period of time. And when it's done, I am free to continue through my path, continue being divinely led to the next opportunity. And I am never stuck to one thing. To me, and I feel like a lot of you can relate, like, when you have such a free soul and spirit, the idea of committing even to for a year to something is kind of scary. And it's not fear of commitment, it's more so understanding this inner process of the spirit and understanding that, why do I want to trap my future self to the decisions that I made today, or to myself of today, right? Like, of course, I want to make good decisions for the future, but I can't plan the future. I can't use my limited knowing, my limited, extremely limited intelligence to say what will be best for me a year from now. I can only do what I'm authentically led to do right here in this moment. and that will prepare me for the next moment, and that will prepare me for the next. And then a year from now, since I didn't bind myself up, shackle myself up, I'm still free. I am still liberated to continue taking it moment by moment, because that's what life means. That's how you live life. That's how you live life in the present. You go moment by moment. Yes, you know what you want. Sure, have a rough plan, more so just know what the steps are to get there. But at the end of the day, it's about detachment, not being attached to any end goal, and more so being in love with the process of life. And that takes me to the next part of my overall point here. So the first part was just the understanding, like from a young age, we're sold this idea from the world, from our parents, who were told by their parents, who were told by society, that this is how we have to live, right? It's very artificial, it's unorganic, and it's a very recent system that hasn't existed for that long. And for a lot of us, that we accepted it, but as we go through our past, it's starting to cause a lack of resonance more and more. It's starting to cause internal fragmentation the more and more we don't listen to that, right? So there's that. And then there's the simple fact that it doesn't make sense to do something that you don't love in your life, to spend so much time doing something you don't love when there's so many things that you surely do love. And if you don't know what you do love, that's another bad sign that the society and the programming done got you from an early age to where you didn't even know how to discover that for yourself. It's never too late though, never ever ever too late. But the whole point is, like, we all have passions, we all have gifts, all have talents, we all have things that we love. And to live outside of that for such a limited life experience, limited existence in this human body, to not be doing that and do something else that you hate, or that's just meh, like just mid, that's so whack to me. Like, why would we ever do that to ourselves? Then we're draining ourselves, and we don't hardly have any energy left over to do the things we love. And then once again, that brings us back to the point of, why are we doing things that we don't love in the first place just to get by, when we are eternally abundant? The whole reality that we're experiencing is created from inside of us in the first place. And to be deeply one with the universe, one with God, one with the all, is to also be equally abundant. You can't be one with everything and in lack, because the universe is abundant. So returning to our natural birthright of abundance means trusting in the unknown, because in order for that abundance to be created, there has to be room for creativity. There has to be room for spontaneity. For magic to happen, you can't plan out every step of the day. You can't plan out every hour of your day. You can't plan out 10 years from now, a 5-year plan, 10-year plan. Like, that's cute. Know what you want, but planning exactly how your life's going to look like 5 years from now is, personally, to me, it's ridiculous. I could never know what my life would look like even a year from now, let alone 5 years or 10 years. So just what I'm learning more and more. And also, you guys, there's this book I read called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. It'll change your life. It's informing a lot of what I'm saying here, but also what I'm saying is things I've organically arrived to, and that book just like pulled it out of me even deeper. So own back your time, do what you love, and figure out what you want out of life. You can't have intention to create your abundance from if you don't have intention, if you don't know what you want. You have to at least be in direct communion with your heart, direct connection with your spirit, to know in the first place what it is that you're here for, what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, because there's unlimited possibilities, unlimited options. And unless we know ourselves and are connected to our hearts, not our heads, but our hearts, we will never know what is for us. Because there are things that are for us and things that are not, right? So what I would challenge you to do, I'm not saying quit your job or nothing like that, but ask yourself what you would do in your life on a day-to-day basis if money were not an issue. What would you do? And it has to be something you love. And then once you have like a list of things, look into that and see like, okay, this is what I would do. This is what will fill my cup. This is what would make me so deeply fulfilled. How can I use this as a gift to others? What from this list is a unique talent of mine, a unique gift that I have that I can share with others? Because anything that we have that's unique can be shared with others to meet a need, right? Because we are just divinity expressing itself. So everything that each person has in their soul is unique to them, and the world needs it. We all need it. We need you to show up in your most fullest extent possible. And the cool thing about that is you can be aligned, you can be happy, and you can be wealthy. You can make money doing what you love, basically, is what I'm saying. So I personally am just not gonna allow myself to feel to accept the constructs, to accept the matrix, to accept the programming that tells us, oh, if you don't get a job, you won't be able to pay this and that, and you gotta get the car and pay for the car note, and then buy the house and then pay for the mortgage every day for 30 years and do this and that and that. No. I just no. I'm gonna let my life unfold so organically. And it's not easy, no. It's not easy, but what makes it easier is by just starting to do what you love now. Starting to do what you love now and not being worried about what is to come, and just practicing the most divine trust fall with the universe you could ever do. I'm at a unique place in my life now where I don't have a job. I'm not in school. I'm not like working or just engaged in anything that I owe my time to. I have a completely blank slate for the first time in my young adulthood, right? Unique opportunity. And the programming in my mind started to tell me, in order to move here and do these things that you want and get the home and that and the car, girl, we got to get a 9 to 5. Let's start looking. Like, I'm trying to make this move. I'm trying to buy the car. I'm trying to do that. Like, where can I find these jobs at? I'm going to just give in and give me a job, because the lifestyle is worth it. It was the programming running in my head. And I had to sit back and be like, wait, who is this talking? Kedasar. If anyone knows me, I've been saying for years, I'm not going to get a 9 to 5. I can't do that life. I'm not about that life. It's not about me. And then, like, that lack mentality started to slowly seep in. So with that, it's just like, you have to stay strong in every moment and stay in deep connection with yourself and your heart, so you know when your heart is talking versus when the mind slash ego is talking. The mind's not supposed to lead us, it's supposed to help organize and strategize. The heart leads us, right? The spirit guides us. So be free, be liberated. Don't allow a very Western artificial construct of a society tell you what you can and cannot do. If you have certain dreams, go after those dreams. If you have certain special, unique talents and gifts, go after it, and pursue it. Just continue following your highest passion, and know that that highest expression of who you are, that highest passion, the thing that you can get lost in time doing, that will lead you to your abundance. That will lead you to the safety and security you desire, right? Because that is already inside of us. All of it is in us. And it might sound kind of woo woo, y'all, but like, this is some for real stuff. I've seen it. I've seen people just doing a leap of faith and being beautifully caught on the other end, and still free in the end, abundant and free, having your time to yourself, doing the things that you love, and being free. right? So it's just like the best of all worlds. I can have it all, and so can you. So that is all I really had for today's video. It is a beautiful place to be. It is a place that requires courage, trust, and a constant intimacy with yourself, so you know where to go, so you know what your heart is telling you, so you know what to do more of and what to do less of, what is feeding you well, what is actually draining your energy. So you have to know yourself in order to embark upon this path and be committed to the self discovery of every day and the intimacy with nature and the universe and with your art, your gifts, your passions. But to me, that's a beautiful life. I wouldn't trade it for anything, and I'm thankful to be here. So that is all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let me know where you're at in your internal process of liberating yourself. It's always going to be a process, right? Not saying you really arrive anywhere, but I do think you can reach a point where you are unwilling to just abide by the artificial system. So I hope you guys take care. Peace.